infiltration of white folk. You know what I mean? Like, this is just a hairstyle that black folk have. And dreadlocks is the terminology that we've created for our own hair.
Tell me say one thing, Nancy, if you understand.
Hi, what's good? It's Sugar Morgan Alexis and we're back again with another video. We do locks, health and wellness, and black liberation right here on this channel. And if any of those things resonate to you, go ahead and click subscribe. Okay, we're taking our hair down. I was on the verge of looking like Lil Bow Wow, so we gotta take it down. And also, I'm talking about 3 different lock myths that I've learned along my lock journey that I want to deconstruct here on this camera. However, this is very conversational, so please indulge me in the comments. These are just my thoughts on some of the things that I've learned along the way, and I wanted to share it with y'all while I take down my hair. So let's go. The first lock myth I want to talk about is that it's important for you to dry your hair with a t-shirt versus a towel. The lock tip is that you should dry your hair with dark color towels or t-shirts. And I was thinking, up until like about a year ago, I believed in this little method here. And then it dawned on me, it don't matter what color the daggone towel or t-shirt is, if it's washed with other colors, it don't matter. Because then the lint from other things could be on that towel that you're washing your locks with or drying your locks with, and then it don't matter because then the lint can then transfer. So like if the original material is black, yes, but there is other things that you wash those things with. Now if you're like super cognizant and like washing your lock towels with just dark colors, then okay, you got me beat. However, I'm not doing that. So that lock myth on this end of the internet, very much debunked. I be just using any old thing now. I used to be super strict about getting a dark color towel or t-shirt, but it don't matter. Lint is gonna travel. It does not discriminate. So yeah, that's one thought. And myth maybe debunked. What do y'all think? Tell me in the comments. What are y'all thoughts? The other lock myth that I want to debunk, I had to go get my notes. Yeah, the other lock myth that I wanted to debunk is this idea that spreading out your retwist will then help your locks be thicker. And that is not true. The length of time in between your retwists actually probably needs to be shortened if you're noticing that your locks are getting thinner. And so it is so important to listen to your hair, learn your hair along this journey, and really kind of focus on what your hair is telling you between each retwist and things like that, instead of focusing on like very popularized theories, because maybe these theories work for a big chunk of people who are locked. However, for me, I notice the longer length of time in between my retwists is the more my lock and the new growth has time to separate from one another, and that creates thinning versus retwisting more often, which helps to bridge the gap between the new growth and the lock. The myth debunked, and it doesn't mean that that's not true. That could be true for you. You have to listen to what your locks are telling you, because I learned pretty early on that the longer I wait for my retwists, the thinner my locks, or my locks get thinner. And the third lock myth that I'm still kind of tossing and back and forth with, that it is wrong to use the word dreadlocks. And y'all know, if you're kind of not new to my channel, you know that I've kind of stuck to using the word locks. And the more popularized story of origin is that the word dreadlocks come from the Eurocentric ideology that locks were dreadful to look at. And so when Europeans, the British which, well, yeah, just Europeans in general, saw black folks, indigenous folks wearing their hair locked, they deemed them dreadful, and therefore they started calling them dreadlocks. However, there's other stories that circulate that that's not true, and that they actually meant, they actually were a representation of their Rastafarian and, I guess, indigenous people, but I think this is more a Rastafarian ideology. That locks were the representation of our faith in God, and that that God was to be feared, but that dread was symbolically good because that represented our faith in God. And then, you know, like the fear of God is in you, which I don't necessarily think align my beliefs with, because I don't know that I don't know that my relationship with God is a fearful one. But back to the myth. So yeah, so I think the myth that I'm trying to debunk is that dreadlocks is a derogatory term for our hair. And in fact that it's something that we could embrace, given that you believe in that it is like something that's symbolic of your faith in God, and that fear in God means that you are just super faith, like your faith is grounded in God, so much so that the way that you be in this world is only informed by your fear of God. I just wanted to debunk the fact that there's only one origin story of the word dreadlock. There's many other beliefs, or I should say there's various beliefs around the word dreadlock, and that we don't have to adopt the more negative belief, and that we can just adopt a more like accepting belief, because yeah, like universally we know dreadlocks is the term that more people are familiar with. However, locks is not like something you would say and people would not know what you're talking about. But I think I am so like, it feels better to me to know that people can say dreadlocks without feeling like they're offending somebody. Like, that I know that somebody's like calling my hair that is them coming from a good place, like a neutral place. They're just like, are those locks? Are those dreadlocks? And it's up to me to be offended. And that's based off of what my belief of the origin of the word is. So I'm just trying to diversify the origin story, because I think it's easy to kind of fall into the trap that something that we have is just so closely related to the Eurocentric ideology, and it's like, nah, I don't actually want to associate my beautiful hair to anything them folks got going on. I think I just want to own up. I just want it to be related to, associated with anything black. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of black stories, black just anything, there's always some white person in association with that. You know what I mean? Versus just like, this is just black folk without the infiltration of white folk. You know what I mean? Like, this is just a hairstyle that black folk have. And dreadlocks is a terminology that we've created for our own hair. You get what I'm saying? So anyway, that's the myths that I wanted to debunk on this camera right here as I took down my hair. And one thing about like doing cornrows, it doesn't curl my hair as much as I'd like it to. It's a very loose curl, but this is what we got going on. And now we're good for another week with this style. We're cute. The sun was going down, so I wanted to turn the light on so y'all could see me, know me. All right, yeah. Thank y'all for watching. I hope my babble reached somebody, touched somebody. But I'll see y'all in the next video.